Walmart Records presents. Yeah, sit back, relax, and have no fear. Check out these jokes I'm hitting in your ear. 2020, yes, a brand new year. Check it out, yo, have no fear. First name Tony, last name Tone. Check it out, we sitting in the middle of a home. Other boy Jamille Harley, it don't stop. Yeah.
Audacity. Have the audacity.
Audacity.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women, senior citizens,
yes.
I got a surprise for all of y'all. This is one of the most legendary men of the 21st century as it pertains to stand-up comedy. And yes, I did say legendary.
Wow.
You know, a lot of cats, they throw around that legendary word, but, bruh.
Man,
Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all give it up for my boy, Tony Tone. Come on.
Man, come on, man.
Legendary.
This helps me loosen up, get my mind going.
Can the listeners, can they see this? Or are they
Go
going
up there to
to
throw
can't see this?
punches to punchlines.
No.
That's right.
They can hear it.
That's right.
They'll be able to see it.
Okay. Man.
That's right. We're about to put it down right now in my Clark Kent mode or Dark Kent. And before I go on, I take these off. Man, just had my damn keys, man. Shit, I gotta get over here.
I remember that. I still do that.
Comedians, we're like little doctors. We're little comedy witch doctors going around spreading free medicine. Well, not really free. It's a $2 minimum. That's just like New York. Yo, son, New York in the house, son.
Been here about 35 years.
Right. You know what I mean?
See, like, Fred G. Safford, and the G stand for giggling. That's right. This is main man, Bernie Mac. They gonna laugh, they don't laugh. I'm gonna bust their head to the white meat mother.
Everybody, this is Cat Williams. I'm about to do my thing. They better have my money. I'm gonna set this whole damn club on fire. That's right, help, comedy club on fire.
Wow.
My man, Tony Tone, is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, you said legendary.
Come on, man.
I couldn't even come on as myself. I gotta come on as Richard Pryor. Goddamn. I mean, you say legendary, nigga gotta say some shit. Goddamn, Jamille.
Hey, Tony, let me tell you something, man. When I was in high school and junior high,
All right.
was a big stand-up guy, like into the arts. My brother got me hip to it by putting me on with Richard Pryor cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy
Wow.
Raw.
You said cassette tape.
Cassette tapes.
I started out on an album. You make me feel really old.
Hey, listen, we had the Eddie Murphy Raw VHS, and my mom took it from us.
Uh-huh.
And I remember her, she was like, some woman is going to kill him because of the stuff he was saying. But I
say that about Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, but I was I was submerged into the whole comedy thing, but I was too shy. I never thought that I would ever be a stand-up comic.
Right.
So of course I see you on Def Jam and Comic View.
Right.
You know, and back then, like, everybody that graced the stage was hilarious in their own unique way. There was no one style that was the same. You know, maybe an open mic, people mimic people, but once you got to the platform where you was exposed nationwide, everybody was unique.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought for one time in my life that I would meet anybody. But I remember the day I met you. I was at Cat's Cafe.
I was say here in ATL, yeah.
Here in ATL.
Cats, yeah.
I was at the Cat's Cafe at an open mic, and my closing joke was a joke titled Fur Boots.
Yeah, I remember the fur boots. Yeah. Fur boot joke. I forgot about that. Yeah.
You know, with this new movement, I can't do the fur boot joke no more.
Oh, man. I know, man. You still do, man. Do it. Do it. Come on.
But when I got back, I had a decent set. You know, I was still finding my voice. I came back to the back, and I felt a tap on my shoulder, and it was you. You said, yeah, I like that fur boots joke.
Right.
And I started beatboxing. I was like, how do you like any of my jokes? Like, I know you from TV. Right. Hey, man, and you've been such a humble guy, like, out of all the things that you've done. And, like, I got family members that don't believe I know you.
For real? Get out of here, man. I never view myself like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just another dude telling jokes.
But you're not, though.
Wow.
You surpassed that long time ago.
I appreciate it.
And man, the only time I got the feature for you, man, I was so elated. I was supposed to Chattanooga.
Man, we had a ball too. me, you, and Mahmoud Malavi. AKA Moody.
Yeah. Moody.
That was a good week.
That was a good week. And I was like, I don't want this to end, because that was the pinnacle of my comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, I performed with a lot of my colleagues, Mia Jackson, Landry.
Right. Yeah, two funny people too.
Yeah. And I've performed in the Midwest and all over the country, for that matter of fact. But it was nothing like being on a stage with somebody that I've admired since an adolescent.
Wow, man.
And then for me to do my thing, and you take what I did and throw that shit out the ballpark. Like, I was like, this is a hot show. Tony gonna kill it. Then you just blew the roof off.
Thanks, man. Wow.
And so out of all the things that I've experienced that you are attached to by some capacity, you have to hold the title legend.
Wow, that's heavy, man. You're the first person that's attached, me to that word, man. That
I'm pretty sure it's more than me.
And I appreciate it too. I appreciate it for real, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless right now to be attached to that word, and I know you really mean it too, man.
Oh,
so
man.
I'll leave here. I'm walking out of here with my chest sticking out tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Legend. That's right. I'm gonna wake up all your neighbors. Keep it down, please. Keep it down. I don't care about no legend. I don't know, Tony. I like your music, Tony. I don't want to hear tonight.
Man, you about to get me evicted.
Oh, sorry. Hello, you have to go. Okay, let me stop, man.
Oh, man. But Tony, tell me about because I remember the very first time that I performed. Tell me about the very first time that you got on stage.
Oh, it's easy. My very first time doing stand-up is the time that really got it sparked. Okay. You got 1B, 1A, 1B. I don't really count the first time, because what it is, stand-up comedy is something I always I've been saying I wanted to do since grade school.
Okay.
Pretty much high school. Maybe, junior high? Somewhere in that area. Junior high, high school, because I was a class clown really starting in elementary.
Mm-hmm.
I was a class clown, but when I started getting hip to, you can actually win an award for being the class clown, I was striving for that, right? Starting in junior high, right? So I got beat out by a good friend of mine who later played football, high school football with me. His name is Bobby Martin. He beat me in junior high. High school, my senior year, I was set, primed, and ready, and I won it, right? Mm-hmm. Most wittiest, right? So I'm saying all to say, during the course of my high school year, and I think I was a junior or senior, I auditioned to be for the talent show as a comedian. Mm-hmm. So it didn't work, so I didn't have the material, you know what I mean? I mean, people knew I was funny, but I didn't know how to set up my material. Mm-hmm. So I would say it was my first attempt with the audition, but the first real performance was at Cumberland College around 1990, 91. I'll say 1990. I played football at Cumberland College, and we broke down into groups within the team, and we did little sketches, right? So the sketch that we did, it was going another direction, and I ended up taking I rewrote it.
And at that time, 1990, the Arsenio Hall show was hot.
Mm-hmm.
And we just so happened to have enough people to be to where I recast it. We did a mock version of the Arsenio Hall show.
Mm-hmm.
I made my boy Mike. I made him Arsenio. I gave him
Let's
right,
get
right,
busy.
right. I had him saying all that, right? Yes. Then I gave him that. Remember, he had a hat on for a while
Yeah.
and some glasses.
Yeah.
So I gave Mike a hat I had. I gave him some glasses. I wrote out a little monologue for him. And the reason we did that because Coach McClanahan, that was over our group, my boy Willie McKinney from West Palm said, "Yo, Coach, you gotta hear Anthony do these impressions." And when he heard it, Coach Mack said, "Oh, Anthony, son, we gotta put that in the show. That's gotta be in the show." So
you were tight at impressions in high school. College.
I was doing impressions in elementary school.
Wow.
Yeah, I was doing that, and I was doing the Smurfs. Reagan was in office at that time, so I was doing Reagan. Any kind of voice that was very distinct, I would catch on to. As soon as a teacher left the class back in elementary, they'd be like, "Tony, do this, do that, do that." So I'm doing all these little voices, and the teacher walk in and catch me, and now I got to put my desk by the teacher's desk. I stayed in trouble in school.
Disruptive.
Right. So, but it makes it so bad. The teacher stand there and watch it first, though. That's the problem. See, that's funny, but you in trouble, son.
I'm gonna tell your parents, but keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah. So, in school, in college, though, I rewrote the skit, and make a long story short, we did a mock version of the Arsenio Hall show, and I made myself the guest comedian. And I did all impressions then, man. And they even back then, they were old, and some of them was old impressions. I did Howard Cosell and people like that. It was old, but it was good, and the student body loved it. And after that, man, I started getting slips under my dorm door, asking me if I can perform at this event or that event on the campus. So I became the campus comedian, and we had a big Earth Day event. It was like around in April, like 90, 91. And I didn't do any impressions on that one. I said, I'm going to talk about stuff from my perspective or whatever, just my observations. And that worked. And one of our linebacker coaches, Coach Palmisano, he's like, Anthony, I used to manage a couple of comedy clubs, and I think I can see you working at a comedy club. If I can hook you up with something over the summer, would you do it? I said, of course I would. Well, that never happened, but I went over the summer, I went back home to Memphis, and the Comedy Zone I went back like 2 weeks before the Comedy Zone opened. So the Comedy Zone opened while I was there, and I was there from day one at the Comedy Zone. I know you know about the Comedy Zone, right? So I was...
Which one?
In Memphis. It was on
They don't
Oakland
Square.
One
in Memphis anymore, right?
No. It closed. That was one of their nicest comedy zones back in the day.
Okay.
Back when Brad Greenberg back when he had it, it was still creative talent. And Hef worked under Brad. Then Brad left, sold it to Hef, and Hef turned it into Heffron Talent, which is there now. Yeah. But I did it back in the day, and that was a very nice comedy zone, right? Which later became a Looney Bin. That's how I met Larry and Terry, and they're out in Oklahoma City now. But
they wouldn't book me.
Oh, they wouldn't?
You referred me like 2 or 3 times.
I did. Oh, I just thought about that, man. You should have been in there, man.
They some haters.
Get out of here. Jeff saw you?
You put me in front of everybody almost.
Golly, okay, all right, we got to come back to that, man. We got to come back to that. That's a travesty, man, because you should be working that, especially them. You should be working. That's a month of work. Anyway, that's where it started, man. My first experience in front of the student body, and then I started hitting open mic nights every week at the. I actually had a little 9 to 5, a little regular job while I was doing that, and I started hitting the open mic nights every week. And they had a nice system at that Comedy Zone because the open mic night happened out in the lobby after the main show. We had a little stage in the corner.
Yeah.
So we had to work our way off that little stage into the main showroom. Yeah. And that was a good incentive. And you go and see the basic ladder in stand up is open mic, MC, MC the middle the headliner. That's the chain of command, right? So that's how it worked for me, man. And the owner, the ones that ran the club, Randy and Betty, Randy basically pushed me on the road. Because I heard other people starting to say this, like, man, you need to start hitting the road. I said, nah, man, I ain't ready for the road. I'm acting like, I'm acting all shy, like that little buzzard on Looney Tunes. Oh, no. So I said, all right, cool. So Randy was like, man, I'm going to call Paula. I forgot Paula's last name, but Paula down at Comedy House Enterprise.
down in Savannah. That was the comedy. I think by the time you started, that was closed. The last remnants of that chain is in Columbia now, Comedy House. But Aubrey Pippin used to own 4 great clubs
That's
called
in
the
South
Comedy
Carolina,
House.
right?
That's in Columbia.
You told them to book me there, and they wouldn't do it either.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah,
well, you know what? I won't. Maybe it's me, man. Maybe I'm jinxing you or something.
Tony, it's not you.
It's not me, man, because you deserve to be working more, man.
They don't want me.
You know what? I'm gonna start trying to set up where I can bring you with me. How about that?
Man, I've been on sabbatical since 2016.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What you just?
I got all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Well, hey, man, you know.
I'm gonna get back out there though.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready. But yeah, he got me set up with the Comedy House in Savannah. I drove all the way from Memphis, man, to Savannah to MC. You know, the money, of course, wasn't worth it. And that was a 9.5-hour drive. But, you know, when you're hungry.
Getting your foot in the door.
Yeah, getting your foot in the door. Sometimes you got to do, you know, like some of these new comedians, they don't know. You got to do some stuff that.
They got Instagram. That's all they need.
Right. But then you got to have the chops. I mean, look, nothing against the Instagram and social media sensations, but you got to have the chops. The magic bullet, the magic bullet for success in stand-up, in my opinion, is being funny.
Yeah.
You gotta be funny first. You can't pump yourself up and not deliver the chop, not have the chops to back it up.
We seen Charlie Sheen try that shit.
Yeah, right, and a few others, right? It's like this ain't. I seen a lot of actors try that, and they're like, no,
you got a script.
Yeah, it's like we can almost get away with what y'all do before y'all get away with what we do first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, man, stand up is very unique.
Yeah.
It's the toughest. Of the entertainment realm, and I'm not just saying it because I am a comedian. It is, man. You one man, one woman on the island. You ain't got no music to back you up. Your
accolades only work for the first 3 minutes.
If you have great accolades, then it depends on who you are. LA, it lasts longer than New York, and anything in between, it lasts a little longer too.
Yeah.
But on the average, you got about a good 15 to 20 minutes.
Of just being famous.
Of being famous. After that, all you're going to hear some session in a black crowd. You can hear this off in the distance. All right, nigga, tell a joke. You know?
And once you hear that, it's over. All right, that's my time. Thank y'all. Good night. Once you hear that.
Yeah, and there's some comedians out there I know that are heavy, man, heavy names, but that celebrity wear off. Now, New York, they're shorter. 10 minutes.
You know what I noticed between New York and L.A.? And it has more to do with the environment, the atmosphere. The people in New York want to hear stand-up comedy, and they don't care if you famous or not.
Yeah, they don't care. They're actually better for stand-up.
Yeah.
New York is.
L.A., comedy goes out there to die.
Yeah, it
if
does.
you're not famous.
Yeah, if you're not famous.
Because nobody want to hear what you got to say.
Nah, unless you got a name. And
Yeah.
It's all a look. It's all man, most of the shows in L.A. are like a one big casting call.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole audience, all of them out there just,
Scouting.
you know, trying to make it and
Yeah,
trying to look the part. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I lived out there for a while, and I did have some good times on stage, man. I had some rooms. I used to love doing Chocolate Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little celebrity-ish, but, you know, but I know what you're saying, though. The grind, the grit of it is New York. It's like, you know, you still grinding. Like, I mean, they heckled Seinfeld when he was Seinfeld at a club called Governors. Somewhere out there in the New York area, Jersey, whatever. You know how they are, man. Hey, all right, Seinfeld. You know, tell a freaking joke.
You know, Seinfeld will be out there. So,
Yeah.
Like, well, I just got off work. I'm ready to go to sleep.
I don't understand why they do that.
And the beautiful thing about New York, you can hit like 30 rooms in a day.
You really can, man.
There's no
really
reason for there to be anybody in New York that's a stand-up comic that sucks.
Yeah, because you can, they'll spit you out if you're not good, but they definitely train you.
Yeah.
And that's why the pace is quicker out there.
Yeah.
You know, the comedic pace is quicker in New York.
Yeah.
You got to keep it going.
Ain't no pause.
Ain't no pause. You can pause in L.A. You can pause. So
you can pause all over the country.
All over the country except for New York. You got to keep it going. All right, yeah, you know, you don't give them a chance to boo you.
You got to prove yourself the whole set.
Boop. God damn it. It didn't leave us any space.
And then at the end of the show, I didn't even get to boo you. Yeah. Come on.
Right, man. Yeah. So, it's you know, my experiences, my early experiences, man, were, like I said, that was my first real stand-up experience at Cumberland, but then in college. But
club-wise, Comedy Zone. And then my first paid gig, man, was rough. This place called Sanders Facility in Memphis, Tennessee. And, but I loved it. I wouldn't even think about getting paid. He just asked, I want you to do a show, whatever over here on, and I'm like, all right, cool. I was happy he approached me, you know what I'm saying? Because funny brings the money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens. So I was just worried about I just want to get on stage because the moment, man, that mic is like that's my crack pipe.
Uh-huh.
You
so smoke crack, don't you?
Yeah. That's my crack pipe, man, as a microphone and some people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy to get another opportunity to do a show. And that room was rough, too, man. I think it was some more comedians on there with me. I'm trying to remember who it was. But, man, Sanders Facility, anybody from Memphis, any Memphis comedian hear this right now, they'll be like, yeah, I know what he's talking about. Old school cats. So I got like $25, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that's great back in 1991, 92.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So then the same guy, his name was Bob Winbush, man. He used to be he was like a fire chief, man. It was Bush Firehouse Productions, right?
Mm-hmm.
He used to use me a lot, me and a couple other comedians in the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he put me on another show. Now this show, I got booed. No, I didn't even get booed. It was worse than booed. I got stared off stage.
You got assaulted.
I got like visually assaulted. It looked at me like this, okay. I'm 48 years old, and people say I look younger than my age now.
Yeah.
So if I always look younger than my age, imagine me in my 20s, early 20s, looking like a kid.
You like an infant in your 20s.
Yeah. Opening for a blues artist. His name was Bobby Rush, but opening for a blues artist, period, in front of an old blue-collar blues crowd.
Little young punk got to say to me.
Exactly. I came out there with my little merry-go-round suit, man, and my little young act. And trying to tell my jokes, even my impressions didn't work that night. Man, they looked at me, man, like, man, I think, and what it was in an old skating rink. So it was basically, man, they just moved some seats and just had all the seats on the floor, skating rink floor.
That wasn't even conducive for stand-up comedy.
I know. And I had to walk the length of the skating rink
to come
floor
to the stage?
to get back out of there. Right? So I had to walk through the crowd.
After you bombed?
Man, they threw lit cigarettes at me. Get your I was getting assaulted.
Where your mama and daddy?
Yeah. I know your mama. I told your mama not to let your young ass on stage. I'm going to call her now.
I'm going to whoop your ass after the show.
Right. They hit me with a belt. Get your ass. They beat me up.
I'm 25.
Yeah, right.
Unhand me.
Yeah, right, man. That was a rough night, man. So, he still paid me. I think he shorted me like $10. I ain't even complain. I'm like, man, I'm out here.
That's cool. I ain't going back
no way. I ain't going back no way, man. So, that was crazy, man.
Tell me, at what point did you realize, and then maybe it was a show, or maybe it just hit you driving down the street. At what point did you realize this was it? I'm not doing nothing else.
Let me see, man.
Because I said that a lot, and I kept going back to corporate. This is it. Let me fill out this application. This shit ain't working out.
Right. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Oh, man, it's my final notice. Let me get me a job.
Homeless? No.
Right.
Application, please.
Homeless person. Hey, man, I'll see you soon. No, you won't. But no. You know what, man? I think, let's see, one of my last... I want to say, man, that's a good question, man. I think it just happened, but I knew this was going to be what I wanted to do, man. You know what I'm saying? So, some of my last jobs was, I worked at gyms. I was working at different gyms. I think I had a little job. My last little government job or whatever, man, I think I worked at Bally's in Pasadena, California, when I was living out there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
After that, man, it was over. You know what I'm saying? After that, it was just all entertainment. I don't count the circus as a 9 to 5 because I think that's still
it's still under the umbrella.
Yeah, under the umbrella, exactly, man. So, you know, and that was a steady job. That was a steady check I made, you know, every week. It was great, but it was still, like you say, it's under the umbrella of entertainment. So I don't really count that as a government job, 9 to 5. But I had radio jobs. Tom Joyner came in and fired me. He did not him directly, but them bringing him in, right?
He sent the text.
Yeah, right.
Hey, get this little out of here.
Yeah, right. He got booed anyway at the blues show. So
pick up one of them lit cigarettes.
Stay lit after all them years, right?
Oh, we gonna get your ass up out of here, show.
Yeah, right. Hey, y'all, this is Tom Jordan. Did y'all hear about Tony Tone getting his ass burnt by a lit cigarette after bombing in front of Bobby Rush? I love some blues. Matter of fact, let's play some Bobby Rush, a block of it. Just to remind them, is Tony standing on the building yet? Let him jump.
Bobby Rush coming to the stage, everybody. Bobby Rush.
Hey, y'all, this is Bobby Rush online. I want to play a little bit of my first song. It's called Lit Cigarettes.
Featuring Tony Llewellyn. Yes.
Hear the sizzle of Tony's skin under a lit cigarette.
Bobby Rush. That sounds like a blues name.
Yeah, man. He had Jerry curl. Still got the same Jerry curl. Oh, let me stop, baby.
So, if you weren't doing stand-up, like say the questions you just answered, like what if that wasn't a thing and you just was a hobbyist that you saw comedy, you enjoyed it, but you never went into it? What would be the ideal profession for Tony Tone?
Probably what I used to always say when I was young, man, sports medicine. I was an athlete. So my first dream really was to play, NFL football. I was gonna be the next Tony Dorsett. That was my first childhood hero.
Running back?
Running back. I was a running back and defensive back in school. But of course, you got to be extraordinary and exceptional. So I had heart. I had ability, but anyway, so that wouldn't have worked out. So somewhere along the lines of training. Yeah, physical therapy, sports medicine, that kind of stuff. I was medical field.
Okay.
Medical field. I was heavily into medical field. Matter of fact, I worked at a hospital during my early stand-up days down in West Palm Beach, Florida. I worked at Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center.
Doing what?
That was I was an OR tech.
Okay.
Yeah, so I worked in the operating room, man, and we did a little bit of everything. We helped the doctors prep the patients. We turned rooms over. I did, a little bit of orderly / this / that, went to go get patients. So I enjoyed that, actually. That was actually fun, man. Had some fun moments. But, me being a natural comedian, I always found humor wherever I worked.
You brought your leg broke.
Yeah, right. I used to, oh, my God. I was a prankster in there, too, man. And, I was working in the hospital right when fake implants became, when they discovered, they started using
exploding
them.
And stuff.
That too, but when they first started putting them inserting them, and I'm like, man.
That was just boobs though, right?
Yeah, it was just boobs at the time. Yeah, it was long before
they got to the backside.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'd be like, I was squeezing. Oh, she's getting these done. I'm gonna squeeze her titties before they put them in. I
squeeze the pre-titty.
Right. Yeah, I'm squeezing titty. Look at her nipple. I'm playing with her nipple.
You can't file a lawsuit on this one.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah, right. I just had these two, not me too. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Tony, could you bring those two and yourself to the HR department, please?
Hey, I had to go to the office for real though, but it wasn't for that. It was something close to it though. This lady, unfortunately, had to have her leg amputated knee down because of diabetes, right? And they put that leg in 2 biohazardous bags and asked me to take it down to the lab, man. And I was like, you can't give me a leg and expect me to act right. Come on, man. It took me forever.
You walking around kicking the floor?
Yeah.
Like, hey.
I'm walking around. I'm kicking it through the hospital. I'm walking, man. I'm like, come here, man. I'll kick your ass. I'm swinging the bag, the leg, and man, making jokes and stuff. Look at man, I'm putting my best foot forward. Just corny jokes back then. Hey man, look, I've grown a foot since you last seen me. Just corny jokes, but man, oh man, I used to do some stupid stuff in there, man.
So that time that I featured for you, after that that Sunday was the last show, I drove back to Atlanta and I was on Tyler Perry's studio doing some feature background work. And there was a girl there that was doing some other stuff. She's like, Jamille Harley. And I was like that always, even to this day, when somebody recognized me and I don't know, I'd be like, who the hell are you? Like, right. I almost get offended because I'm like, are you working for the FBI or something?
Right.
But she was like, No, I was in Chattanooga at y'all show. You and Tony were amazing.
Wow. Well, how about that?
I was like, wow.
You never know, man.
Yeah, but speaking of that, how come have you done any acting lately?
Yeah. Other than the stage play called Head Over Heels.
Head Over Heels.
By an incredible playwright her name is Lolita Snipes. She's an Atlanta native. Man, I've been with that production since day one. Mm-hmm. And I've had a blast doing that. I love live theater anyway. Mm-hmm. And to me, it doesn't get any raw or more pure than live stage play. And I get to work on my acting chops. And I've worked with people, you know, from all over the industry, and including people like Chandra Corelli. She played my wife. She's been in several Tyler Perry plays and movies. Mm-hmm. I had Trina Braxton, Tamika Scott, Jackie Harry, man. Jackie Sandra for 227.
You work with her?
Yeah, man. She played my mother. Yeah, she played my mother one time. And Q Parker, man. So many people, man. Great actors and musicians and stuff, man. That's been a lot of fun. We just closed like a couple of weekends ago. We were at the Riverside Epicenter. And that's where I met my lovely fiance. She actually was a part of her first production.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, her first production was Good God Almighty.
As an actress?
Yeah, she's an actress. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shut your mouth.
So, yeah. So she go way further back with Lolita than I do. But yeah, man, I've done some stuff with Tyler Perry Studios. Mm-hmm. I was in I Can Do Bad All By Myself. It was only an upgraded feature. I didn't have any lines, but me and my car, I had the car I was driving at the time. They put my car in it. Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting on my car's union. My car's union, I'm not. How's that? I was getting my car's still getting residual checks. No, kidding, but
Don't throw that thing away.
I know, right? But no, I did some stuff on Meet the Browns and I'm still building on my acting side. You know,
okay.
I can act. It's just I was out in LA grinding for a while, and I was heading in that direction, and I was getting more comedy stuff and sketch. I made it onto a sketch show that we shot the pilot, and it got it didn't make it, but still, just that experience
alone
of shooting the pilot, man, as one of the main cast members.
Yeah,
like it was a mock night late show. It was a mock late show, like you know what I mean, like Arsenio and Johnny Carson. Mm-hmm. So it was called The Latest with Elon Gold. And Elon Gold, he was the main guy. And I auditioned with him. He has, to me, the best Jeff Goldblum out there, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he's known for doing, Jeff Goldblum. So his whole thing, he was interviewing fake celebrity. It was like
impersonators?
It was impersonators doing those celebrity guests.
Uh-huh.
So, but outside of that, because I did do some celebrities, but outside of that, I was a disinterested band leader. You know how Jay Leno had Branford Marsalis and Johnny Carson had Doc Severs, band leaders. I was that guy, but I was disinterested. Like
do what y'all do.
I was just there collecting a check.
Uh-huh.
You know how the host be like, yeah, so what do you think about that, man? And like that, I'd be like, I'd be doing something totally different. I'd be over there doing my diversifying my portfolio. Yeah, doing some,
Who got next on this space table?
Right. I'd be doing something just totally different, contrary to it. But yeah, we shot a pilot of that. Dennis Farina was a part of that. Who, he passed away in recent years, but he was a part of. Yeah, Dennis Farina. You wouldn't know if you saw him. No. That's Lou Ferrigno. Man.
Okay, my bad.
You're terrible, man. the Farina and Ferrigno, that what made you think of Lou Ferrigno. Oh my God, you worse than I got some family members like that. You say something remotely close. Oh yeah, that's no.
That was Incredible Hulk, wasn't it?
I should have went on and said yeah, him. Yeah.
We done killed the Incredible Hulk. Goodness gracious.
But man, yeah. So I want to work on get my acting back up. As far as getting like some TV shows, movies. Atlanta. For those people listening that don't know, this is Marvel headquarters.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm a big kid at heart. Whenever I drive by the Porsche building off of 75, I get hyped. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think I just saw Tony Stark. I'm like, oh, there, Thor, summon the Bifrost. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, people don't know that's the Porsche building right there off of 75. And you looking like you don't know either. He don't know either. He doesn't know. He didn't know. This is new to Jamille Harley. He had no idea either.
So I know that the the studio that I don't know if they still do, but they had a contract with Marvel. It was out in like Union City.
Okay.
Because I was in the first Ant-Man.
Oh, were you?
They cut my scene out.
Oh, that's messed up.
I was
a small part.
I was right behind T.I.
The whole movie's. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I didn't speak. I was just right behind T.I.
Right.
But Starks.
I guess they couldn't have 2 light-skinned dudes in the same.
It was actually 3 because it was a taller guy, light-skinned, that was next to me.
We can't have 3 light-skinned.
Okay, they might take this over. But no, so the Porsche.
They look like the bars over there.
Introducing
to the beat of the rhythm of the night.
Yeah. But no, the Porsche little racetrack is Tony Stark.
The Porsche building over there in Hateville, right there off of 75. What street is that? I can't think of the name of the street, but
it's going towards Riverdale, right?
Not really. It's right off of 75. You drive, you can look at it.
It's to the right.
Yeah. Both of those buildings. Okay, you been to Uptown over there? It's right across the street from Uptown. I know, yeah. If you go to Uptown, it's right across the street. Like, you look over there, there's the Porsche building. Those 2 buildings are used as Marvel headquarters in the MCU.
Really?
Yeah, they just kind of CGI. They CGI it, the surroundings, because the setting of it is in upstate New York. That's where it's located.
Yeah.
So they CGI that. But, man, that's the Porsche building. Like, if you
I'm going to have to go check it out.
When we're done here, you Google, put the Porsche building and MC or Marvel. Put those 2 words together into Google, and it's gonna pull up that building. And
I'm gonna look that up.
And where you see the Porsche, emblem, big Porsche emblem, in the movie it has the Avengers A in that place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learn something new, ladies and gentlemen. In Atlanta, Tony Stark lives in Atlanta. Even though didn't he get killed off this last one?
Well, I don't want to be. Well, we beyond spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen Endgame, sorry, but Tony Stark don't make it. He doesn't make it.
So tell me this.
I love you 3000.
So this is when I was in stand-up comedy. That was one of the biggest things that I couldn't even focus on was a relationship.
Right.
And you are engaged.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is you know how it is, man. You know how it is being a stand-up comedian, especially if you're not a household name yet. You still roughing it.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like me, a lot of us out there, we would rather as men have a nice, especially financial foundation, at least solid enough to where you can support a relationship. But sometimes you will meet that woman that understands you. She comes from the same, she has to do the same thing. Yeah. And just we'll work it out, be a team, and we'll build together. When you meet that, you don't ever want to pass it up.
You don't.
So at first, I didn't think I was ever going to, I was done. Yeah. I was trying to avoid it. Like, I ain't trying to be in these women.
Get off me.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be in these women's faces, man. I'm broke, man. I'm broke. I was trying to do it right. You know what I'm saying? But, boy, I got one now, boy. Woo. Yeah. And the crowd goes wild. Tony Tone has finally met the one. Give me more applause. One more. And the crowd goes wild. Can you believe it? Celebration. Yes. No one can believe it. That was from across seas. People cheering across seas. That was from Africa. The whole globe is going wild over to Australia checks in. Everybody, the whole globe. Wait a minute. That's Mercury. A whole nother planet. Here comes an incoming from Uranus. No, we don't want nothing from Uranus. Nothing from Uranus.
Because, from my experience, like when the girls that I would deal with, some of them, not all of them, they would see me on stage. Yeah. And I would post a little snippets from being on television sets, whatever, and they think I made it.
Right.
But then when you go pick them up in that beat up Ford Taurus where only one window halfway works, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, right.
This is what you chose, baby.
Right.
I don't want you.
But what about that was temporary. This is reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? When I first got into stand-up comedy, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to get a hold of the groupies.
You said that?
I was 20-something.
Okay.
Like I started in 2004. I think I was 24, 25.
Okay.
And, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to get my hands on some groupies. But then as I got more mature, I was like, y'all need to get away from me.
Yeah, and anyway, and plus, your level of groupies go up with your level. So at the open mic and beginner level, they be aunties. And, hey, young man, don't you want to come and tell me some? Yeah, don't you want to come and tell? Is that Weezy Jefferson? Hey, young man. Is that Aunt B over there? Oh, man. Oh, my God. They smell like white diamond perfume. And, they got the old perfume bottle with the squeeze pump. Smelling like history. Like, you smell like gunpowder from a musket. And then as you get famous, then the caliber of groupies get even nicer, right? Nah. You know what, man? Honestly, I was always, that was never my thing, man. The whole groupie thing. I just wanted to get on stage. I probably missed out and bypassed the groupie thing because I was always
You was focused.
I was focused. I was always a silly dude, just like in school. Everybody knew me. They call me by my real last name, which is Llewellyn. Yeah, they go Llewellyn.
That's an OG name right there.
Right. I was just a silly dude, not even realizing that Keisha over in the corner was looking at me. I'm too busy being silly. So that translated into my stand-up career. And, I was like, I just, I don't want to get on stage and whatever. Hey, how you doing? I'm hugging, all that kind of stuff. I didn't know.
Hey, sugar. All right, now, bye.
Right. Yeah. So that was me, man, and, which, it's good to be focused like that. And then, of course, as time go on, then you got some savvy and all that kind of stuff. And then you're like, it would be nice to have somebody have you on the road with me, especially when you're on the road. And that didn't always happen. So, like I said, I've been a road warrior for a long time, too. So, now I got somebody that can travel with me.
Get your stuff together, baby. We on the road.
Yeah, right. Get the RV. And the crowd goes wild. Tony Tone finally found a road companion, and she's gorgeous. Pixie dust! A unicorn just ran through the building, and she was butt naked on the unicorn. This is over. She was naked. I'm out of here.
I'm going where she going.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a beautiful thing. One time, JB Smooth had come in town, and he was playing
Yo. Go ahead, yo. Yo. That's right. Up in here. Mount Vernon, money in Mount Vernon. Yo.
JB Smooth tongue fattening him up. Nah, I'm just playing.
Did he?
Nah.
Oh.
Because his tongue always getting away when he talks.
Yo.
But you remember what's that club that was off Hogan Bridge Road? It was inside of the little Dave and Buster's type thing.
Oh, yeah. Funny Farm?
Funny Farm,
yeah.
So he was headlining the Funny Farm, and Landry was hosting that show.
Yeah.
So I got in the show.
That's dope. That's a good line.
And I didn't perform, but I was able to get in. Okay. And JB Smooth had brought his wife, his new wife. And I'm still kind of young in the game. And at first I was like, why would he do that?
Oh, bring his wife.
Why would you bring your wife? But then I think I went 2 nights.
You dirty, man. You just so dirty. You roll dirty. Why you bring your wife and all these bitches? Yeah, go ahead.
Because back then, that was like, shoot, be a high roller, flashy, all that. Because I was immature.
Right, I got you.
But then something clicked in my 30s when I was performing. And I was like, this is what JB was doing. Because it get lonely out on that road.
It does, man.
You have a fire show, explosions and sparks, and you go back to that hotel room.
Right back to your room to Spectrum TV. Yep.
You go back to your room and you hear.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
And you got to force yourself to go to sleep or get drunk or something.
Either that, you hear either that, or you try to go to sleep, you hear the people next door. Like, oh, God, now I got to hear them. Yeah. Now I got to break out my lotion and act like I'm joining in.
Smack her on the ass, Cliff.
Yeah. I got to stick my ear to the wall so I can hear everything. And then every now and then you hear a meh. Wait a minute, is that a farm animal? Oh, I think I'm
Were you at Alabama or some shit?
Ding, 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 ding. God darn it, darling, this is some good woolly ass right here.
Woolly ass.
I'm good, woolly sheep ass.
But you know, I've told myself when I do get back to comedy, I want to have developed enough steam behind me to where I can be the director of my own, you know what I mean, path and stuff. So I don't have to sit up, hey, boss, look at me. I'm funny. I'm good. Everybody like me.
Really, that's where the real respect and power comes in, leverage, is you creating your own content. Yeah. And because really being in front of the camera or behind the mic and everything, we're really like cattle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We just, no matter how talented you are, until you get some kind of producing, directing, writing leverage, you just cattle. Yeah. So, man, you going in the right direction. I might have to, I'm still hyped about being in front of the camera. Maybe I can do both, but I may, I can. You can do both. Yeah, you can do both. Yeah.
And I want you to work with me so we can do both.
Yeah, we will. And this is the beginning right here.
So tell me, speaking of that, what do you think about? So to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, there's only one black-owned comedy club, which is the J Spot, which I don't even know if it's open anymore.
No, it's more than that. There's more than that. You got Chuckles in Memphis.
Is that owned by a black person?
Yeah, so Prescott, he's partners with Mike Ware. Yeah, okay. He's partners with Mike Ware. There's I'm definitely going to acknowledge them because they deserve to be acknowledged. But they gotta. I hope they build up. But it's called Private Eye or Jokers in Augusta. I do them all the time too. That's black owned. It's only a handful. I went down a list at one time because used to have the club in Chicago. By Mary had that, and that was black owned. But
you
it's
talking about Jokes and Notes?
Jokes and Notes.
Yeah, that been closed. I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Like I say, J Spot. Man, there's something else I'm missing right now, and I can't think of it. But yeah, it's not many. It's not many.
So why do you think that though? Because we have way too many black famous comedians with money. Right, why do you think they don't invest? Because what that ends up doing, it's leaving all the rich black talent to continue to beg people for time, and they don't want us to get it no matter how funny you are. Right. They're like, we're going to give you a little something, but we can't let you come over and take this over.
Yeah, we really could and should have our own, man. You're right. Chris was doing that. Chris Tucker had it for a minute.
Yeah, the old Uptown?
He had his own, no. Back when Uptown... Man, this city was off the chain at one time for black stand-up comedy. He had Uptown, which really wasn't fully black-owned. A lot of people don't know
It's never been fully black-owned.
Never, it hadn't. But it just had names on it. But anyway, the original Uptown in Buckhead on Peachtree, behind Houston's back in the day, that was open. Chris, and Quake had Uptown 2 out on Memorial Drive. Mm-hmm. And Chris had his club in the Rio Mall. And how long you been here? Do you remember the Rio Mall?
Okay. I got here in 2006.
Okay. So the Rio Mall, was right there at North Avenue and Piedmont, I believe, somewhere in that area. It was definitely on North Avenue somewhere. Anyway, right there, man, he had his club open. And he really had been trying to get reopened again, but he never did get reopened after he closed it. Because a guy came in and bought that whole mall and turned it into the Publix and the Walgreens you see today. Okay. So they bought that up. So, but like you say, man, he should have one. He should have another one. Cedric ought to have. A lot of them should have. I feel, maybe that's not something, a business venture they want to do. They don't want to babysit it. I don't know. But yeah, we should have a lot more prominent black-owned clubs. And I really feel like I still want to bring back. They can call it a Chitlin Circuit or whatever, but it's an urban run that. Actually, creative talent of the Comedy Zone, they started that. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, that run was 2.5 weeks of straight work. And as a new comic, that was the best thing for your chops, to be able to work 2.5 weeks consecutively in different parts of the country. That means you had to step outside of your box, the box of your city. Yeah. Know the people. That makes you grow. Mm-hmm. Each time I came back from that run, I was stronger. And stronger. And confidence was higher because you just finished banging it out in different cities and states. So it was a 2.5 weeks worth of urban runs. It was just urban rooms. Mm-hmm. It's a collection of rooms in different cities.
Was it just the South, Southeast?
Mostly that, yeah.
Okay.
It started in Richmond, Virginia. It went from Richmond to Norfolk, Norfolk to like Charlotte on down to Charleston, Augusta, Macon, Memphis, Atlanta, and I think that was it. But it just, it was a lot of work, man. So I really would like to see that again, and you know, and of course, mix some comedy clubs in that, and you know, just we need that back, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And there's space for it. You know what? I found out because I used to frequent the Punchline.
Right.
And I was cool with the managers, the bouncers, the bar, the bartender.
Back in his old spot?
Yeah, on Hildebrand.
Yeah, Hildebrand, yeah.
And so I noticed trends. And I could be wrong because I don't have the physical statistics, but just off of my what I saw.
Yeah.
During the recession, black people saved stand-up comedy.
Yeah. We still save those rooms. We keep those rooms alive,
We keep those. Listen, I featured up in Chicago at Zany's one year. It was a week, and I forget the woman that I featured for. She was her big acclaim was she on a Chelsea Lately show. She was performing in Chicago. She was okay. This one night, it was a Saturday. The last show, it was a show where it was mainly black people.
Mm-hmm.
The whole weekend, it was cool. You know, people were we was having a good time. It was diverse, or it was mainly white and a little sprinkle of others in there, other people in there.
Right.
But this particular night, it was all black people from South Carolina because they had come up for a Kirby convention, the vacuum.
Wow, really?
And they was ready to get it on. Now, to what you were saying about when you're doing a lot of travel, you sparking that confidence and you really getting in your bag. I saw it was a room full of black people, and I was like, now I can really show out.
Yeah.
Because these people are going to get every last one of my jokes with the music selections. I mean, you know, the musical jokes and
all the references,
the church references and all this stuff. They're going to get it.
Right.
Like 100%. It was packed. So the host went up. He did decent. He did good. Then they had an opener. He didn't really do too good.
Right.
I went to the bar, took a shot of Patron, got to it.
Right.
Bong, 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 bong.
Right.
Standing up.
Wow.
I get off. I go back up to the spot. The headliner woman that was up there, she didn't do good at all.
She blamed it on the audience.
Of course.
It's too dark out there.
But they got rowdy. Some people got put out or whatever. But after the show, they was like, oh, you did an amazing job. So then I went back into the club, and the bartender was like, I've never seen this before. We sold out of all the Hennessy and all the chicken wings.
Chicken wings. Yeah, I only gonna say chicken.
Now,
chicken in hand.
When I parallel that to when like IMAZHREAM in the Punchline or these other like cultures come to the Punchline or these other clubs to see their specific comic, they don't spend money. And they don't spend money because they're financially mature.
Right.
They're aware of their spending habits. So they're gonna go and get the 1 item, 2 item minimum, and that's it.
That's it.
But when we go out, it's an experience.
Yeah,
because
we living off of YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. We might get killed tomorrow, or you know, suffering from depression or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when I go around to these clubs and they make it their business not to bring in black comics.
Yeah.
Even though I've heard this one particular manager here in Atlanta say that she thinks, out of her opinion, black comics are funnier than white comics. Yeah. But they never book black comics.
Right.
But when they book black comics, they make all kinds of money.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting back and I'm like, where are all these rich black comics?
Yeah. Yep.
For one, you leaving money on the table.
Yep.
And not only that, we need you.
Yep. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm not surprised though. We never seem to look. I don't never hold anybody like you got to give back.
Right.
No, but it would be nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If because they're not obligated, but it would be nice. You know, I'm sure if they were in our shoes, they would they would feel the same way. But it's like they got theirs, and like the rest of you niggas on your own.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, and we keep the black people. Period. We really keep this country going.
We keep everything
going. But in terms of the comedy though, even out in L.A., the biggest nights at the Improv and
Chocolate
at the Comedy
Sunday.
Store and at the Laugh Factory. Chocolate Sunday. It used to be Fat Tuesday when Guy Torrey had it, and I think it may still be. I think what's her name, man? I'm looking dead at her. I used to do her night.
With the Comedy Store?
I
know you're talking
up
about.
in the belly room.
Yeah. In the attic.
Yeah.
All that asbestos.
Right. I can't think of her name. I'm looking dead at her. She was cool as heck too.
Yeah, she cool.
Yeah. And then the Improv, even when Spike was there and D-Ray is still there, they still, we keep those rooms going. Go on a regular night. It'd be barely, it'd be light. It'd be real light.
Yeah.
Be real light, man. And man, they know that too, man. We keep them alive and they don't want to use us.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to pull away from that. I mean, other than a few clubs like the Stardome, Bruce Ayers, one of the best owners.
He's probably, the best owner that I've ever met. Club owner in America.
Everybody. Nobody had nothing bad to say about Bruce,
Nah.
man. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, we'll get you on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, I'll call you. We're going to get you back in here, buddy. That's how he talks. Very nice. Him and his wife, Chi-Chi, great family.
Yeah.
Man.
He saw my set once, man, and I didn't know who he was. And again, I was young.
Yeah.
I went to that little open mic competition.
You thought it was Phil Donahue, didn't you?
He just
said,
said,
Donahue?
yeah, he's soft-spoken with the white hair. He's like a car salesman or something.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I want to sell you a dream.
So I did my set, and I killed that day. I didn't win the competition because competitions are more political. It don't matter how good you are. They want who they want to win.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it was the first time I went. I did good. I didn't win, and I didn't know I didn't win at this time because I was arrogant. In my mind, I won.
You were arrogant, man? You never struck me as that.
I'm not. So here's what I've been told no a lot, and that I'm not good enough a lot.
Right.
That when I show out, I'm like, y'all can all kiss my ass because I just showed you.
Right.
And so in the comedy business, I think that these people that book the clubs, they constantly telling you ain't good enough, so you psychologically can keep trying to prove to them that you are. Right. It's a game. Mm-hmm. So anyway, at the Stardome and the open mic, I killed it, did my thing, and I'm in the back, like you got the radio booth, the little DJ booth right there, and you got the back little hallway. Yeah. And he said, "Hey man, that was a good set," and I was like, "Right on." I didn't know who he was. Oh. I was like, "Right on," and just kept moving.
Wow. Well, he won't be back. So much for that, asshole.
But I wasn't an asshole to him. I just didn't know who he was. So I was like, right on, thank you. And just kept moving. When I should have been like, oh, hey, by the way.
Yeah, you didn't have to tap dance. But like, hey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can,
Yeah. And I learned that after all. And here's the thing, Tony. I come from Irvington, Indianapolis. That used to be the headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. So being called
just when I thought it was a whole country. All right, go ahead.
No, so as a kid, the trauma behind being called a nigger, like regularly, that built up some type of.
Dad, you heard that on the regular?
On the regular. You be walking up the street going to the barber cars, getting, hey, nigger!
Really?
And you like 12 years old.
Irvington, Indiana.
Yeah, Irvington, Indiana. So I have like anxiety issues sometimes.
Wow.
Because of the trauma that I've had since a child. Dang. And so and being in Alabama too, just the stigma that Alabama holds, I'm like, hey, thank you. I'm gonna get on away from you. I don't know who you are.
It makes it so bad, man. Birmingham I actually like Birmingham, man.
Birmingham's cool.
That's a cool little city.
They got a gang of barbecue spots.
Oh yeah. I mean, they don't compete with Memphis though, but they do have barbecue.
Yeah. When I was going through there a lot, I was a vegan.
Oh yeah.
And so I would get there and couldn't find nothing to eat. I'd have to go to Chipotle and get a.
You had to go into a yard and graze.
Matter of fact, the last time I was there, that's when I ran into you. Well, no, not the last time. The second to the last time. Remember we was in the same hotel?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, what were we doing? What was I doing?
You was doing a play.
Oh, wow.
You was doing a play, and I was hosting, and I was
on Head Over Heels.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but anyway, Bruce is a great dude. But
great owner, man. One of the few.
Yeah,
probably,
one of the few.
You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, man, it's most of them they don't want to use you, man. It's just crazy, man.
And I found myself complaining. And I was like, wait a minute, I am the commodity.
Yeah.
I don't need you to sell my services.
Yeah.
Ludacris and Master P, so they mixed they CDs out their trunk. They didn't have to get it into the CD store to be a thing. So and that's why you got everything you see now, because it's like I can be a one man show. Yeah, you know what I mean. But
it's true, man.
Yeah, I often ask like older comics, like, why don't we have anything? Because we have the money. It's not like we don't, and we have the intelligence to do it for ourselves.
Right. That's a good question too, man. And we might need to bring that to the table, bring it out more, that question up, and be like, yo, why don't we have our own? I mean, it's easier than getting our own TV station.
Yeah.
Because BET is definitely never been black owned. Viacom has always owned BET.
No, Bob Johnson used to own BET.
Bob Johnson, that's right. But now Viacom got it, so we don't have nothing black no more.
Yeah, and that's straight trash.
It's garbage, man. I haven't watched BET in so long, to be honest, man. I don't even know what's on there anymore, man.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, one time I was shopping for cable. I was like, man, who do I want? I don't want cable. That's before the internet was really popping.
Right.
But then I was like, I don't want to give BET $1.
Yeah.
Even though they do have one or two, like the New Edition program was dope.
Oh, that was on BET. That was BET. That was great.
That was great.
That was great. But they commercial things to death on there.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really messed up, man. It's almost like the show that you're watching is the commercial.
Yeah, it ain't never
watching the commercial station. Yeah. Welcome back to the commercial station. And now an interruption from New Edition.
We know you black folks buy a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We gonna commercial you to death.
Buy another Jordan commercial. Come get these Nikes, nigga.
Because you won't stop buying them anyway.
Tired of standing in line?
So would you ever see yourself like being a manager to an up-and-coming comedian, or a mentor, or even teach the comedy classes?
I can see the latter, to mentor and maybe some classes, you know. But managing someone, I mean, that'd be a heck of a leap. But you never know. I'll never say never, but definitely a mentor and putting on a class or something. I need to do that now, actually. But
you do, because in Atlanta, I haven't been on the scene a lot, but there's a lot of people giving classes that don't even tour.
Right. And that's what's so hard about me, for me to commit to that, I'm always touring. Yeah. That's the problem. I'm always gone. I couldn't commit. That's why I'm not a trainer too. People ask me to train.
But you know what? You got the internet. You can train online, and you can do a class. I know. Shout out to my homegirl Monique, Fit While Brown. I think I said that right. She does online,
really?
Training. Like
she a comedian?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, she's just into health like that. So
okay,
she has virtual.
Yeah, I see plenty of people doing that. Plenty of people doing that too, man. So
you can put on online classes, have people pay to get access to the classes, and you have videos that you shoot in the hotel. Yeah. And you just give them, the formula. Right. Set up, punch.
Yeah. My formula starts, man, verbally, man. It starts mentally first. That's where the real success lies. Mm-hmm. You can do I can show you all the extravagant exercises and all kinds of nutrition. And if you don't have the consistency, if you don't have the discipline, intensity, focus, patience. Yeah. Patience is big, because because people lack patience, that's what gives plastic surgery and implants and all this stuff. That's what gives them fuel. Yeah. It's our lack of patience. Yeah. If you have patience, if you have patience, you ain't trying to do all that. Yeah. I'll build it in the gym. Yeah. It'll last longer. Yeah. No adverse effects. You won't look dumb when you get old. Yeah. You old, you 90 years old, but you got a 10-year-old ass.
You got these people selling teas and shrink wraps. And
No, it's just good. Nothing beats good hard work. Now, some of the little stuff you can wear is not bad, like the little belt that helps you sweat a little bit more. Yeah. That's not bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when you start having your body cut on and inserted and a few other things like the steroids, all that stuff like that, it's just like, okay, now you're hurting yourself. Yeah. But good old hard work. But everything as far as fitness, every program works. All of it works, but none of it works if you don't have the consistency, discipline, intensity, focus, and patience. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you got that, you can you can actually do whatever method that you want, and it's gonna work.
It's gonna work as long as you have those ingredients.
Yeah.
I be telling my family members that. I said, if you don't have that, none of it's gonna work.
None of it's gonna work.
Especially the consistency. People always lack that.
Yeah.
I'm tired out today. I'll do it tomorrow. And it's like now you're not seeing any results because you keep, and that's pretty much applicable to life, man.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
But yeah, man. I could see myself doing that. I mean, look, I'm at an age now where, I'm not gonna. Now I've gone from being a high school student to being a teacher now.
Yeah.
But hey,
who can still work and put up numbers.
Right. And I'm looking at different roles. It's like, hey, I mean, that's all right though. As long as Morgan Freeman getting roles, I can still get some roles. He can't play every old man.
You still look like you're in your early 30s though.
Hey, thanks, man.
Late 20s. I would say late 20s, but you got salt and pepper like me.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, late 20s. That's really reaching right there.
Nah, you could do that, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, don't get me started. I'll be like Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio was 35 in the first Karate Kid.
He was that.
No, he was close though. He was old, playing a high school student.
He look like he's about 15.
He looked weird anyway. You know what I mean? If you see him now, he looked kind of like younger. He looks much younger than what he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when he was like, they say he was like in his late 20s.
Wow.
They say he was in his late 20s when he played in the first Karate Kid.
Super young.
He looked super young, yeah. But so that's why people be like, man, what happened to such and such? They got old. They look bad now. They were old when they blew up. A lot of people were old when they blew up.
Most people are.
Yeah.
Eminem didn't catch a break till he was 40.
Are you serious?
Rodney Dangerfield was like he was 55.
I tell you, what a crowd. I tell you, what a long time. I tell you. I was 55. Got my first break.
And Morgan Freeman just got on when he was 75. So
now, I've been old a very long time. I was born 65. I had a job. I shaved
regularly.
In fact, my ultrasound, I was working.
Oh, you was working in your ultrasound.
Yeah.
Hadn't cut.
I had just clocked in, and I heard someone take a picture.
So tell me this, Tony. What would you like your legacy to be? Like when it's time for you to retire.
That's a real question, man.
I mean, because this is something we got to think about. Mm-hmm. We should be anyway.
Ooh, man. Wow, Woo. I'm Casey Kasem, and we'll be back after these commercials.
Well, you know what? Let's take
if you come up in, whatever. Bars.
Bars is back.
Bars. That's good, man. This is a brief history. And the crowd goes wild.
I'm still trying to figure out this mixer.
That's good, man. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good, man. Yeah.
So we're gonna before you tell us about your legacy, we making a call to one of my good friends, stand-up comic out of Cleveland, Ohio,
where I was born.
You was born in Cleveland?
St. Luke's Hospital, 1971, Cuyahoga County.
Let it be known then. And matter of fact, Mike's gonna talk to you in one of his characters, and you jump in one of your characters, talk about these elections, see what's going on.
Putting together an impromptu skit. I see you, Jamille.
Hey, Mike, you there?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Who was born in Cleveland?
I was. Tony Tone, Cleveland, Ohio. St. Luke's Hospital, 1971.
That's crazy.
I'm old, man. That hospital been torn down.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's where I was born.
Oh, you were born in St. Luke's?
Yes, sir.
Nice. I mean, you close to my age then.
Would they close St. Luke's or something?
Huh?
They closed St. Luke's?
They tore that down, man.
Yeah, that's tore down, bro.
Yeah,
Well, look, Mike. Can you put one of your guys on the phone to go to tell Tony Tone about these elections, man?
Sure, definitely.
Who we gonna talk to?
You can talk to Tracy or Idris, either one.
Let's talk to Tracy first, and then you put Idris on.
He actually went to go get Tracy.
Yeah, you know Tracy extra. He need a.
Won't want to come.
Hello.
Yo,
There we go. What's good, Tracy?
what's good?
What's good, baby?
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy's in the building. What's good? What's good?
Man, it's been a long time, Tracy.
You know, Brooklyn Bears, baby, do or die.
Tracy, man, you know, you've been in the game for a long time, man. You and I first met back in the day in New York, back when you just signed with the Uptown Comedy Club right there on 125th in Harlem. And being that you've been around for a long time, you qualify as a legend. So we have a legend here that would like to converse with you, man. He's speaking. He's going to be speaking to you from the upper room, of course, because his time has come and gone, but his spirit is still here. And he wants. Hold on, Phil. Let me go get him. Hold on. Let me wake him up. Wake up. All right, man. Who's this? This is Red Foxx, Fred G. Sanford. Who in the hell is Tracy Morgan?
You don't know who I am.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm a legend out in these streets, man.
Wait a minute. I remember now. Tracy Morgan used to have the propeller hat on, that hat with the propeller on it.
Man, I did that like 25 years ago on Def Comedy Jam, man.
Well, I died before that rest of the stuff happened. That's all I remember, you big dummy.
Who you calling a dummy, man?
Well, I'm just saying. I was having fun with you. You know, I don't mean no harm. I'm just saying, Tracy, what you doing now? I'm pretty sure you're not shopping at Walmart these days, are you?
No, not after they hit me with that damn truck.
Wait a minute. You got hit by a truck?
Hell yeah, I got hit by a truck, man. I started walking funny. I don't remember shit.
Wait a minute. You was already walking funny. I thought maybe it would have made you walk straight.
Well, it did kind of help a little bit.
Oh, that's good. Good to see you still here with us. What comedy club will you be working next? And when you do work, can I open for you because I need some more work? Ever since I came back from the upper room, the IRS was there waiting for me, and I still owe them money.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. I'm not working no clubs, man. I got a show now. You ain't seen my show? The last OG?
Oh, wait a minute.
They got cable up there in heaven.
Wait a minute, that's your show? I auditioned for that show. And they told me I didn't get it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why they should have gave me that show. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as in 5 of these across your lips. They should have hired me for that show. That's right. Matter of fact, I got somebody else here, Tracy. They're a big fan of yours and one of your fellow comedians. Let me get them on the phone. How you doing? Who's this?
Bruh,
It's Bernie. It's Bernie.
Bernie, what's up, man?
Now, I'm tell you something. I'm tired. Sick and tired. Up in motherfucking heaven, man. Let me tell you something. It ain't what it cracked out to be. I mean, up here, it's quiet. Too quiet up here. I need to come down there and hang out with you, Tracy. What
Man,
we gonna do?
Come on down, man. Come on. We got room, buddy.
Well, I'm coming down there right away. I'm telling you right now. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. You don't know. You don't understand.
Oh, shit. Hey, man, we could do this all day. Hey, Mike.
Now, wait a minute. Now, Tracy, this is Cat. Now, I'm still here right here on the earth, and I've been waiting. I've been trying to catch up with you for the longest. I don't understand why you've been running around, and you're trying to avoid me. It ain't like you owe me money or nothing. What's going on, Tracy?
I don't know, man. Where the hell Cat come from? Where that dude come from?
Cat has been here the whole time. Why you sounding all? You sounding all nervous now.
I thought you was locked up, man.
No,
I thought you was in lock.
Well,
No?
I am locked up, but I got special privileges. I got a good friend of mine to bring me a burner phone, and I'm talking right now. So better make it fast, because they starting to come down into my cell.
Well, I'm glad you out, man. I thought you was inside getting your hair braided by some dude named Puppy.
Well, now, I don't get braids, and I know you're trying to be funny, goddammit. Don't... I get perms, not braids, goddammit. Now I'm having to come to Cleveland right now. I'm coming up there to Cleveland right away. I'm flying up there tomorrow.
Oh, hey, Mike, give us your social media handle, brother.
It's at comedian Mike Head. That's the Instagram. And you go to my fan page at Mike Head Funny on Facebook. On Facebook fan page. Yes, sir.
You got any shows coming up?
What am I doing? I'm doing the Funny Farm here in Youngstown this weekend coming up.
Hey man, we gotta connect, man. Go ahead, run down your stuff, and I'm gonna get back with you on that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be actually out Richmond, Virginia, Funny Bone.
Oh yeah, Funny Bone.
March 26th through the 29th. Yes, sir.
Stun on us real quick, Mike.
You said what now?
I said stun on us.
And then Syracuse, New York, Funny Bone, April 7th through April 10th.
Nice. Hey, I'm surprised we haven't crossed paths, man, because I've done some stuff. I've done, Ken Adams. I've done some of his rooms in recent times. And
oh, really?
Yeah, I've done his run at least twice, man. I know you know about his Skeets and Cavantes and out there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the room out there in Maple Heights, man? God darn it, the banquet hall. The Mediterranean. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, he just called me recently, like a couple of days ago, and asked me if I was available. I wasn't, but we got to catch up next time. I still got a family there, so I still come up there all the time. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, of course I want to do. I enjoy doing Ken's room. It's work, but I want to do the real stuff like the Funny Bones, and I did a spot at Hilarities, but I guess I wasn't their brand of humor. They're a little different than Hilarities downtown. You know what I'm talking about, Hilarities?
Oh yeah. I cut my teeth in there too. I still go in there.
Yeah, they
to work on some material.
They directed me to the Improv. You ever done the Improv? I'm like, oh, that's cold.
Dang.
We don't like your kind here, buddy.
Yeah. You're a bit too urban here.
They will do that.
Yeah.
They will do that.
So and the Youngstown, I got one of my brothers and his wife. They live in Youngstown. I like they get to Youngstown too, man. So so we got to chop it up, man. We're all on the podcast.
Sure.
Talking,
I make sure I get y'all connected, man.
Yeah,
Mike's a good dude, man. I met Mike out at a comedy festival we was in
the land.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
the land.
Thanks for calling in, Mike.
Yes, sir,
right,
man.
Hey,
anytime, man.
Good meeting you, man.
Yeah.
We got to do some stuff together, man. That was fun.
Definitely, man. We got to link up, man.
For sure.
Jamille got my information, so give him my number or whatever. Text me, so we can link up, man.
Sounds good.
No doubt. Be safe, Mike.
All right.
Peace.
Yep.
All right, so back to the last question. I know it's getting late.
Yeah.
Legacy,
man. That's have I really given that any real thought? I think I'm still in the midst of reaching that point of like what my legacy would be, man. Because right now I'm just.
What do you want it to be, though?
What I want it to be? That's fun. It's like, what I want my legacy to be. That is a darn good question and a tough one, because tougher than what I figured it would be. I never really. Dang, see, you would ask me that in front of my fiance. Now she like, yeah, what is your legacy gonna be? Just a.
Yeah,
what it is, you know legacy? What it is, man? You know why it's so hard for me? Because I am I got talent in so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Stand-up's probably my number, entertainment, but it's like my whole training, fitness and stuff.
Because a lot of people don't know that you're a boxer.
Yeah,
that you'll whoop some ass.
What? Let's clear that up first.
I mean, you ain't gonna fight no main event.
Right.
But you'll whoop somebody's ass.
I have boxing abilities. I'm just short of being have an official fight. Yeah, you make it seem like, man, you a boxer, man. You remember you used to fight Holyfield and no.
If we was ever out, you remember what happened with Steve Brown?
Yeah.
If I was ever out with you and that happened, I'd be like, hey, Tony Tonga whoop your ass. You keep fucking around.
Throw me in the fire. But I have hands. I box and I box. I'm into fitness, acting, and I just a positive. My legacy, man. I'm still working on it. It's like a great role model, Man, I can't even give you a definitive, solid, clear cut answer on that right now. I gotta give that some thought, man. I mean, that's deep because a legacy is like,
that's here when you're not here.
Yeah, here when I'm not here. So, I have 3 legacies. I have a daughter and 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you had 3 kids. I knew you had 1.
Yeah.
I know you had 3.
Well, yeah. Blended family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Slow moment.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. No, you didn't know. Yeah. No, you gotta hit that. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Oh, you got the Jamaican joint. Boy, they hit that. I'm like, I'm like, man, if you don't hit that, if you stop hitting that, no, anyway. But no, now, so far those are my legacies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So outside of that, I'm still under construction. Still under construction.
Well,
yeah.
Next
I'm
time
sorry I couldn't give you.
That's all right.
I'm saying I've been around long enough. I feel to be having to think about a legacy yet. I got a long way to go. I mean, I'm hitting a century. I don't know about the rest of these people.
You're probably closer than what you think, man. Because you've influenced me on a lot of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man.
I don't think you realized the influence you had once, especially once we connected.
I didn't. I really didn't, man. I'm just, I'm starting to hear that a little bit more now, and I'm a little behind in certain areas, and I'm starting to grasp it now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, I didn't know. I didn't know the magnitude of certain things. So I'm still kind of like, wow, because I'm a kid at heart, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I did not want to grow up. I did not want to grow up, man. But I'm like, you know what? Especially in recent times, I was like, I got to go ahead and grow up, man. I was enjoying being a kid, man. That's what helped me. That's what helped me stay and look youthful, man. It was my just hope. But now I'm about to go and embrace some more wrinkles and hair and stress. No, I'm joking, man. No, but just, I got to grow up, man. I got to grow up. So I was too busy I was cruising through the first 50 years of my life. I mean, I'm only 48, but still, my first half of my life, I was cruising. I was, recess. But now I see my last 50 is going to be some work. Yeah. And I'm cool with it.
Well, man, listen, from what I can see, you're doing a great job, man.
Thanks, man.
And like I say, from the influence that you left with me, that you not left because you ain't gone nowhere, but that I have from you, man.
Don't kill me off. Man. He can kill me off. This is some Illuminati stuff. Man. They want me to get up out of here.
Take the shot. Take the shot.
Yeah. He's speaking to me in past tense. That's the hint right there. Man, you were such a great person when I first met you, man. And then, you left here. And then
too bad you had to go. What? I'm still here.
Right.
No, but so tell the people what your social media is.
My social media handle, if you're on Black Planet.
Watch out now. Come get him, wife.
Farmers only.
Take the shot.
I know. Silencer, man. Hey, Instagram, it's comedian Tony Tone. That's comedian TONY, comedian Tony Tone. I do have a fan page on Facebook under comedian Tony Tone, and my main Facebook page is actually Tony Llewellyn. They made me use my Facebook
your government name,
my government name, so Tony Llewellyn. But that space is very, very scarce, so get in where you can fit in. But you can go to my main fan page on Facebook, Comedian Tony Tone, Instagram, Comedian Tony Tone, Twitter, @Tone the Comic. Tone the Comic on Twitter. I gotta get back on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have
your last tweet was in 2017.
Man, what? Man, my tweets still say, all right, congratulations, President Obama. First black president. That's my last tweet. I know. My last tweet is, have y'all seen School Days?
Lawrence Fishburne is the truth, Jack.
No, my last tweet is, they kill cornbread. You don't get that. See, that's you young.
I know that's. Was that Schoolie High?
No, that was Cornbread Earl and Me.
That was the name of the movie?
That was the name of the movie, Cornbread Earl and Me. Cornbread was played by, he was one of the early professional sports players that did movies, that was in movies. I think he was only in that one movie, but he was in it. Jamal Wilkes.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Jamal Wilkes played for the Lakers. He was Cornbread. Guess who was a little kid that said, "They killed Cornbread"?
Who?
Lawrence. He was Larry Fishburne then, but it was Lawrence Fishburne, a young Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne was acting as a kid?
Yep. See, I know I feel old now, man. I feel like I need to just burp you before you go to bed now, because you feel like you're an infant. Now come here, Jamille. Now go to bed, son. Yeah, man. It was a young Lawrence Fishburne.
Wow.
And they shot Jamal Wilkes. He was Cornbread. Yeah, they killed Cornbread.
So where are you at this weekend?
I am in Chattanooga.
At the Comedy Catch?
Not the Comedy Catch, though. I'm doing another little spot. Mm-hmm. But I have been at the Comedy Catch a couple of times since you and I did it. But I'm at another spot. I can't think of the name of it. It's a new spot. Mm-hmm. But they called and asked me if I was open. So I'll be there this Friday, the 28th. And then after that, I'll go to Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
At the Looney Bin.
I got a ticket in Wichita, Kansas.
You got a ticket in Wichita?
Yeah, I was flying too.
Oh, shoot, man. Yeah, they pulled you over in a horse and buggy?
Man, they actually set me up.
Oh, really? They had a speed trap?
Somebody got me, and then they was pointing like,
oh, yeah, that's how they do. Yeah,
and I'm like, why are you pointing? Why aren't you coming? And then this other joker comes and, woo.
Yeah, one will radio you, and then the other one will catch you on radar, and he'll tell the other one up ahead, and he'll direct you to the side of the road.
Yeah.
They do that in different states, man. Kentucky's bad about that. But, Wichita, Kansas, and then I'm going down to the Dallas-Fort Worth area to
What's the
see
club
my daughter.
in Wichita?
The Looney Bin.
Looney Bin.
Yeah, the Looney Bin in Wichita, Kansas. That's March 4th through the 7th. And then after that, I'm going down to Dallas-Fort Worth area to see my daughter. She's a little track star, Kennedy Llewellyn.
Uh-oh.
That's right. Hebron High School. The Hebron Yeah. Shout out. Rewind. Calm down. Selector.
Rewind style.
Booyaka. But yeah, she's a little track star, and she's probably going to be going to right now. Alabama is her number one school she want to go to.
Oh,
yeah. So
proud dad moment.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. So that's it, man. I'm still grinding. I'm grinding, man.
Well, man, I want to see more of Tony Tone in 2020.
You will, man. Everybody will. Everybody will. Everybody out there that's listening right now, you will see more of me. Go, like I say, I spit out my social media. Go to my Instagram. Go to my Facebook. Go to my Twitter. And let's grow. Let's do this.
And I want to get you in my movie.
I would love to.
I got a sequel coming up, and I want to get you in there.
Yes. Oh, really?
So I want to, once I finalize the script.
I can act, man.
I know you can.
We both can.
You want to be in it too? We can get wifey in it.
Yeah. Let's get wifey in there too, man. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I already got a character. His name is Calhoun.
Yeah.
He's Calhoun, and he's the more mature guy out of the bunch. And he's married, and he's schooling my character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On being married, and we can have the wifey in there too.
Yeah, man. And the crowd goes wild. Not only has he landed a beautiful woman, but he's landed a movie role for both of them. He's a provider.
Well, listen, Tony, it's been a pleasure having you, man. I love having you on my show. Man, I want to have you again.
Hey,
so whenever
anytime
you come back in, I can have you on, have you call in one of your characters or something, man.
Yeah, hey, please do that. I'll do that, man. I'm about to move back here. So I might just show up. I might just be sitting in here when you get up in the morning, man. So be like, yo, man, let's do this.
Where's the cereal at, Tony?
Coffee in a robe. Coffee in a robe. Let's do this, man. Morning time.
Wait a minute, Tony. What are you doing here?
Well, I just had the audacity to show up.
Hey-o.
And the crowd goes.
All right. Well, again, thank you, brother, for coming out.
Thanks,
I
man.
appreciate you. Make sure y'all go follow Tony Tone on all of his Instagram handles, and he's going to be active on all of them. We promise. And good night. Thank y'all. Make sure you tune into the Audacity next time.
Peace.
The Audacity Podcast. I have the Audacity. The Audacity Podcast. The Audacity Podcast. The Audacity. The Audacity. The Audacity. The Audacity Podcast. The Audacity. The Audacity. The Audacity. The Audacity Podcast. The Audacity Podcast. Audacity Podcast.
Audacity Podcast.